To me, love is your actions to show that you love someone.
I think that's the funny thing about relationships, you know? The people who give the 5% only realize that they're only giving 5% at the end.
Nobody really lets the relationship flower into something that's genuinely precious. Yeah, relationships fail because of the lack of...
What's a major mistake people make in a relationship?
If anyone's into the whole relationship space or improving your relationship skills with your friends or intimate relationships, yeah, relationships fail because of the lack of setting boundaries or an understanding of boundaries. People are so afraid of, setting that boundary because they think their partner is gonna hate them or gonna reject them. By the end of the day, to forge a good, healthy, long-lasting relationship, you need to set these things, make it very clear. Even if it does make the relationship end, which is brutal for a lot of us. We just want to be loved, like truly and deeply. You gotta take those risks, and eventually you'll find someone who's understanding, and you should be understanding too. So take your time, communicate. I'm cold.
Very cold. No, never mind.
I'm shaking.
Never mind. The continuity error is gonna go crazy. Is falling in love real?
I think this kind of leads down to definitions of love. Some people think that love is just a feeling, and people argue that's just lust, infatuation. To me, love is your actions to show that you love someone. I don't necessarily have to feel a love. I just show it through what I do for them, giving them affirmation, kissing them, buying them stuff, respecting their boundaries, and respecting my own boundaries because I want this to work. That's why I'm communicating.
What's an overrated relationship tip that people always say?
People think extreme infatuation is like bad, and it can be. I've talked to people and they're like, yeah, I was really into them like way too much, and they've been in a relationship, a good healthy relationship for the past 2 years. Like one of the things on social media is oh yeah, October, this is like breakup month, will you survive? And it's like, what? It's arbitrary. Like, why are you just saying it's just for clicks and likes? Yeah.
So you feel like extreme infatuation, that's okay to have?
Yeah, it can be an issue, but it's not like every single time you're infatuated that immediately they don't really love you, they're gonna leave you.
How can over-infatuation be a bad thing?
Logic is overridden by like a rush of emotions, really, like dopamine, serotonin. So it could really blind your better judgment.
How does attachment style impact relationships, Seon?
Well, attachment styles, there's the three basic ones. There's anxious attachment style, there's avoidant, and then there's the healthy one. I'd say I'm personally anxious. That's why I'm also like clingy. That's one of the traits of being clingy. Then other people, like one of our friends, he's dismissive because he has loads of goals. Even if he likes them, he just runs away from them if anything serious ever happens.
What's it like to have a healthy attachment style then?
Trust each other, right? You're able to set boundaries. Right? You don't violate your own boundaries for the sake of the other person. Like, let's say we have two anxious people together. They want to be together all the time because they want to feel safe. But even though they want their own time, one way of breaking their own boundary is not communicating that they need to be separated. So that's one issue. In a healthy attachment style, two healthy people would be like, oh yeah, kind of want to be alone. And the other person would be like, okay, that's okay. And nothing bad will happen from that ever again.
Are you able to switch from one attachment style to the other?
So with this attachment style theory, they theorize that you can just work towards a healthy attachment style. So yeah, you can technically change.
So how are you able to move from dismissive to everywhere around?
You need to identify your issues. You don't have to say, oh yeah, I'm anxious or I'm dismissive or avoidant. Kind of look at the traits, be like, okay, this is bad, I need to fix that. And then you just work on yourself. One thing they say is to just actually find someone who has a healthy attachment style and kind of learn from them. Because if you go to, let's say, to avoidance, seen as the worst attachment style, that's going to be awful.
Why is that?
That's going to be awful because, when you said about being emotionally distant, both of them are just going to be emotionally distant. There's no true connection there. They're just always running away from each other.
But if they're both happy being distant with each other, what's the harm in that?
You still need an actual deep emotional connection. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what they're avoiding. They're afraid of getting hurt. Because healthy people, they'll have a good connection and they won't be afraid of being hurt, right?
Why is modern dating so hard?
Consumerism. Do you agree? I think I agree with myself. Yeah. Because think about it. Social media, Amazon, materialism. We get just short bursts of dopamine, just getting things instantly in our hands with our phone. I'm not going to take out my phone. And yeah, so you get into a relationship, the lust, the infatuation, if there is any of that in the beginning. It feels good. And then once it kind of dulls out, because it goes back to baseline, as it should, okay, nothing's going to be all peaked, right? Everything that goes up must come back down, right? And then people are so used to just getting, quick highs, Like, you sort of just be like, oh, this isn't for me. Next relationship, next guy, next goal. So nobody sticks around. Nobody really lets the relationship flower into something that's genuinely precious.
Is it because of the lack of commitment in relationships nowadays?
Yeah, commitment. Everyone's talking, not everyone, but at least how it's portrayed on social media. You see a lot of people talking about infidelity. People who are on social media, they just believe that if they date, they're going to get cheated on.
Do you think a relationship has to be 50-50?
Idealistically, yes. In practicality, it's going to sway, go maybe 80-20, 90-10, 30-70, 40-60. It's never perfect.
Why is that?
Because we all have our ups and downs in life. Like, we're all our own individuals. Nothing's going to be perfect. Some days, your partner might be depressed and they're not going to put too much effort into a relationship because they're struggling with their own problems. So you're going to be the one putting more effort into it. You're going to be pouring more of yourself into the relationship.
So when does that turn into a bad thing? Or does it ever turn into a bad thing?
Yes, where we get into toxic relationships, where it's literally just 95-5 all the time, or like 90-10, where you're pouring literally everything into this person and it's never enough, or they are so emotionally closed that they can't give anything to you, and it just drains you. You feel worthless.
I think that's the funny thing about relationships, It's like the people who give the 5% only realize that they're only giving 5% at the end. And 9 times out of 10, it's always the guys that are in the 5%. I can't lie.
Nah, bro.
Really?
Nah.
Why is that?
No, I'd be sarcastic.
Oh.
Sorry.
But like guys, they always do 5%. Because it's from personal experience, personally. Where it's like...
It's because we don't give an effort, So
Yeah.
we're just like, we're chilling and we're like, oh yeah, we love you. And that's enough. But in the girl's mind or your partner's mind, it's like, what are you doing, bro? Like, give me some flowers. Like, what are you doing?
Where it's like, yeah, you just say it, but you don't actually do actions for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's just empty words at that point.
Innit?
And then people only realize that they're in the wrong when the girl is already over it.
Let me give you a lesson, guys. Actions speak louder than words.
Actions speak louder than words. How do you practice self-love as a man?
I don't want to sound like one of those, self-help gurus. Go to the gym first. Love yourself physically, take care of your hair, brush your teeth, put some deodorant on, some of you boys. Do your skincare, it ain't gay. Eat good food.
What's good food?
Be eating loads of sugar. Don't be drowning yourself in alcohol, all in moderation. If you feel physically good, then you can start helping yourself mentally. Because it goes hand in hand.
And how do you mentally help yourself?
It depends on what your issues are. Let's say confidence is one thing. You'll get that from improving yourself physically. Put yourself out there, get more hobbies, try and talk to new people. Yes, you're gonna experience some hardships. It's gonna feel like you're rolling back down the hill, but it's all part of the process. Just keep trying.
Wait, I want to go back to the thing that you said about skincare.
Yeah.
What are the essential things that men need in their skincare routine then?
Moisturize, okay? You guys be having dry skin and that's gonna destroy your skin. So moisturize and have like one kind of sensitive formula facial wash. Something like, I know the brand Simple, they have loads of sensitive formulas. So not very harsh chemicals, so it's not gonna completely destroy your skin barrier. Usually I just do it in the shower, wash your face every day and make sure to moisturize afterwards. Wear sunscreen too, every day. The UV damage is the #1 cause of skin cancer and also the aging effects on your skin. So if you wanna look young for longer, you wanna last longer, wear some sunscreen.
Why'd you look at me like that when you said that? Why'd you... How do you get over a breakup?
I need help with that right now. Be with the friends, be with family, vent about it. Do the things that you enjoyed before. Just anything to keep your mind off it. Don't mourn over it. There's one quote that really resonated with me, is that, will this matter in 3 months? Then don't worry about it for more than 3 minutes.